Hello everyone, Dr. Afzal is here, and today in this session we are going to discuss the emerging computing technologies. Nowadays, you frequently listen the terms the autonomous car, the cars with the drivers, or you use the Chat GPT or Gemini, and also you use the option by the WhatsApp applications in their application where you can ask the WhatsApp or the assistant about any type of content or any type of question. Similarly, you use the mobile phone voice assistant, the Google Assistant. So instead of using the GUI of the mobile phones or searching anything in your mobile phone, you just ask by voice to the Google Assistant, and Google Assistant help with this. And similarly, there is a Alexa, which actually interprets our voice instructions. So instead of going to switch off the lights or switch on the lights, etc., to control the refrigerator, control the temperature of our homes, we ask the Alexa, the voice assistant, which listen to our instructions, which interpret our instructions and control the appliances accordingly. So the emerging technologies are changing our world dramatically. So what are actually the emerging technologies? Emerging technologies, we can't say that these are exactly new, but the innovation in these technologies, the new ideas in these technologies are reshaping or changing this world dramatically. If you see the world few years, if you go back few years, and when there was no screen, there was no cellular communication, and there was no internet speeds. So at that time, our way of living was different, our way of communication was different. So after the screen, after the use of the Android mobile phones, or when the internet speed increases, all these change automatically. Our way of living is changed now, our way of communication is changed now. So everything is changed. At that time, we usually discuss the thing in the groups, and we usually visit our friends or our families frequently. But nowadays we depend on the screen, we depend on the applications, we depend on the live streaming, etc. So as the mobile phones, the Android, the screen, or the speed of the internet change our life dramatically, the artificial intelligence or other technologies, the particularly which I'm talking, the emerging technologies is changing the world automatically, and we will see this soon in next few years. So the question is, what are the emerging technologies and what are the key technologies which we are going to discuss in this video? There are a number of technologies, but in this videos we are going to discuss the top 9 or 10 emerging technologies which are reshaping our world. You can see some of these technologies on the screen. For example, the artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is very popular today. Everyone know about that. That what is the artificial intelligence? As the keywords say, artificial intelligence, where the machine mimic just like a human being's minds. The second one is the Internet of Thing. Internet of Thing means that the connectivity of devices to the internet and sharing the data and communicating with each other. Big data and big data technologies, as we talk that a massive number of devices are going to connect to the internet, and it is expected 50 or 75 billion devices. So if 75 billion devices are going to connect to the internet, definitely a massive data will be generated. So this is not useless data. Definitely this data is affecting our world. This is also reshaping our activities, etc. The next thing is quantum computing. The today world, we are using the digital computing, which depends on the zero and one. But as the data increases, as the devices increasing, definitely there is some issues in the computing where the traditional computings are not able to process this massive data. So therefore, to address these issues, the researchers are working on the quantum computing. communication system, as we are using the cellular communication, as we are using the satellite communication, which depends on the internet. So all the technologies which we have discussed or which we are going to discuss are depend on the communication system. So without the communication system, there is no work of AI, there is no work of Internet of Things, there is no work of big data, because all these technologies depend on the communication system, particularly on the 5G or the coming 6G, which we introduce shortly. Immersive technologies, you have already been heard about the virtual reality, about the augmented reality, about the mixed reality. So immersive technology create any virtual environment for training, for learning, or doing anything, or creating any prototype, etc. Blockchain is also very important, because without the blockchain, these technologies will not be able to proceed, as it is not these technologies are not able to do anything without the communication system. Definitely they depend on the blockchains too. Blockchain is actually trying to secure our network, to secure our devices, and definitely to secure our data. 3D printing is becoming very popular, because we can use this for to prototype. There is a personalized printing in it, and it is just like a traditional printer, where we write something in a short form and give print to the printer, and printer write this on the page. So definitely, exactly, this will work on the same manner. We will design something in a 3D format in a computer, and any printer which will actually print the thing from any type of plastic and any other type of material. So this will print these things in 3D formats. This is particularly used in prototyping, in healthcare and shelter creation, etc. Computing, brain computing interface, instead of directly controlling the mobile devices, computing devices, or any other devices, with the computing brain computing interface, we will directly communicate with these devices, with these digital devices from our brain. So this will revolutionize the healthcare system, the people who are handicapped in some manners, and who are not able to communicate with the system. And similarly, robotic and drone, this is not a particular new technology, but it is a you can say a domain or field where we apply all these technologies. And drones are these robotics are very important, because they are reshaping our world. They are using the technology to reshape or to change our world. Now let's discuss this technology one by one. The first one is the artificial intelligence. As the word says, artificial intelligence. It means that the machine, any algorithm or model, is copying, mimicking the human mind behavior. As the human mind works, that we actually learn something and then apply the same learning in other different situations, and according to that we make some decisions. So the artificial intelligence will work on the same way, that we will train the artificial intelligence models, their algorithms, and these machines or these models or these algorithms will apply the same knowledge, the same training in any other situations, and there they will make some type of decisions. But with that decisions, I don't think that you will be able to get the exact idea that what is artificial intelligence. So to get a clear idea that what is artificial intelligence, you must know the categories or the type of the artificial intelligence, that how this is actually applied in our real life. The first one is generative artificial intelligence. Generative artificial intelligence means that the machine learning algorithms, the models are able to create the content This may be in the form of text, videos, or photos, just like a human being. And we see this every day or use the application which are generating the generative AI every day. You use the we use the chat GPT, we use the Gemini, or we use the WhatsApp options where we ask something to these models, and these models generate the content or photos or videos related to these stories. So this is actually generative AI. The second one is the machine learning algorithm. Machine learning algorithm means that we train one algorithm in one scenario. For example, we have trained one model to recognize the car or recognize any other objects. So after that, we apply these machine learning in any other situations where these models use the existing training on any other situation, and they recognize the object, for example, the cars or the trucks, etc. So this is not confined and limited to only the recognitions. You can use this for the classifications and number of purposes. Neural language processing is another type of artificial intelligence where the machine is able to recognize, interpret our words. For example, when you communicate with your mobile phones, when you ask something to the Google Assistant in your mobile phone, so instead of using the GUI, the graphical user interface of the mobile phone, you just press on the voice assistant button and you give some instruction to that assistant. So the Google Assistant interpret your words and follow your instruction. This is the example that how the neural language processing work. Exactly when we talk about the Alexa, which is assistant which is used in the smart homes, where instead of using the traditional buttons to turn off the electrical appliances or to control the electrical appliances, or to use about any mobile phone applications to control the home smart home environment, we just start to the Alexa install our in our homes, and this Alexa actually interpret our words. This interprets with our voices and do the things accordingly. The next one is the computer vision, which is particularly important nowadays. For example, you are an employee, and you when you enter to the your organizations, your face is detected, your the face features are read, and according to that your attendance is marked. Or you can say the autonomous vehicles depend on the computer visions. Computer visions means when the artificial intelligence, the AI algorithm, interpret the photos or videos for any particular information. So the other is the expert system. As we can see the robots, or we can see the drones where the expert system work, and the deep learning is a sub field of the machine learning AI. So after discussing the generative AI, the machine learning, neuro-linguistic processing, the computer visions, I hope that now the AI will be clear to you that how artificial intelligence actually work. So we are nowadays the AI is working. In which fields the AI is working? AI is everywhere. There is no such field, there is no such domain where artificial intelligence is not present. It is present in every field, in every domain, just like a computers. That the computer is nowadays a part of every domain, every field, and every person is using that. So definitely artificial intelligence is everywhere. Smart assistants, you use the Google Smart Assistant, you use the Alexa at your home. Personalized recommendations when you open your Google account, when you search anything on any browser, and the browser after that when you visit any website or any streaming application, then the same tab of content is displayed to you or same type of advertisement is shown to you. So this is a personalized recommendation system. When you visit the YouTube or the Facebook or any other social media, there you can see that the recommendations are made according to your choices. The recommendations are made according to your search history. So this definitely depend on the artificial intelligence. There are artificial intelligence algorithms, there are AI models which made such like a recommendation. Autonomous vehicles. We talk about the autonomous vehicles every day. This is a very hot topic of research, academia, in the education. Every person talk about that. So autonomous vehicle actually use the computer visions where it interprets the videos, the photos, or it also interpret the data coming from the sensors, and the same data is used to navigate the vehicles on the road. We use that in the healthcare system. For example, in early days, when we used to visit a doctor, then we are usually suggested that visit some experienced doctor. What do the experienced doctor means? That actually this doctor has uh, checked, diagnosed a more number of patient, which means that this doctor has a more number of records. So if there is a big data, there is a data of the same patients and it is in a million, so definitely any new doctor can use this data through artificial intelligence to diagnose any new person, to diagnose any new diseases. We use the artificial intelligence in predictive analysis also. You can see we use that in the weather forecast, we use that in our sales predictions, we use that in any type of predictions where data is available. We use this in the geospatial intelligence. Geospatial intelligence means that the data which we are gathering from the geosatellites or any type of sensor, the data related to the world, the photos, the figures, and the same data is then interpreted for any type of decisions or any type of prediction, etc. So machine learning is everywhere. It is in every domain. It is reshaping the future of the work. It is revolutionizing the industries, where in the industry the autonomic robotic system were controlled by the human beings, but nowadays or in the future, this control will be made by any artificial intelligence. Similarly, we can see the augmented scientific discovery. It is also revolutionizing the health, and in the near future, you would be able to operate from any remote doctor. Instead of visiting this doctor physically, you would be able to operate any type of surgical operation if the network speed increases. So definitely, as we discussed, that AI is completely changing or reshaping our world. The next technology is Internet of Things. As the word clearly says, Internet of Things, the devices which are connected to the internet. As we can see nowadays, that number and a massive number of devices are going to connect to the internet. So all these devices are not exactly the computers or the mobile phones. They're actually any type of sensor. They are actually any type of actuators. They are the objects related to the smart cities. These are the objects related to the smart homes, the electrical appliances, the security cameras, and the security sensors, etc. So actually all these devices are going to connect to the internet, and definitely they will share the information with each other, and they will make some decision according to this information, and some actuation or some action will be taken. So we can understand the internet of things with its three layer. The first one is the sensing layer, where the sensors are installed, and these sensors record the environment. For example, you can see your mobile phones that it has a different type of sensors. It senses the light, as you can see it automatically adjusts the brightness. It detect and drop of objects. When we take our phone to the to listen it, then its screen automatically turns off. It counts our steps, etc. So there are a number of sensors in our mobile phones too. So definitely there are a number of sensors in our smart homes, in the smart cities, which detect the environment, for example, for smoke, from the level of oxygen or the carbon dioxide, and number of other sensors. And when these sensors read the environment, send some this data, then these statistics are sent towards servers where any AI algorithm work, and according to this data, some decisions are made. And when these decisions are made, then as an action, some actuators are some types of actions are taken. For example, if there is any object or movable object detected by security cameras and it is considered as a threat, then the actuation will execute the warning. It can execute a warning to the to any other offices. It can utilize any type of sirens, etc. It can directly open the gates and emergency gates, etc. So it may be in a number of ways. So as we discussed, that the three layers where the sensors work to get the or read the environment. In the second, the decisions are made to execute these sensors data, and the third, when the action is taken. Applications of the IoT is everywhere, but when we talk about any particular technologies, it doesn't mean that actually only this technology is solely working to reshape or change our world. So Internet of Things that definitely depends on a number of technologies. It depends on the communication system. It depends on the artificial intelligence. So all these technologies work together to change or shape our world. So as we can see that IT applications are used in our smart homes. I gave you an example of the Alexa, that instead of going to turn off or turns on the light, or to control our refrigerator, or to control our other electrical appliances, or to control the temperature of our home, we just talk to the Alexa, and Alexa control all these things. We use this in our smart cities, the smart cameras which are installed there for security purposes, or the sensors which are installed there for security purposes. So all this data is read and processed. We use this in our smart healthcare system. In the smart healthcare system, there is a one incoming technology where the remote surgical operation would be possible. If the net speed increases, if the network which is not reliable at that time, which is not trustable at that time, because it is congested at that time, it is heavily utilized. So if the network get available of if the network progress, then definitely a remote surgery operation will also be there. We use this at we use the IoT in the drones. We used it in the robotics system. We used it in the forecasting, where there is a different type of sensors which sense the situations, which sense the environment, and according to that, some decisions are made. And according to this data and these decisions, warnings are issued. The future of the IoT, we can see that the industries is changing every day with with the automation, and the main thing behind the automation is the Internet of Things, the Internet of Things devices, Internet of Medical Things. The medical is also is being revolutionized with the Internet of Things, with the other emerging technologies. And similarly, internet is used in Internet of Educational Things. where a personalized learning system are made for every student, and ad hoc networks are it is used in the it will be used in swarm robotics. Swarm robotics and the swarm object means when the IoT devices create a group, create a swarm where they can talk, where they can communicate with each other, and they work in a group just like we human beings work in a group too. Nowadays you can see some videos which are very popular where some drones are used to create some objects on the sky, where you can see that the drones are flying, and they are creating different type of shapes, for example the animal shapes or any other object shape. Actually they work on the swarm mechanism, that they create one group, and they coordinate, they communicate with each other, and they can do the thing in a group format. The next technology is a big data. As we talked earlier when we were talking about the Internet of Things, that about 50 or 75 billion devices are going to connect to the internet. So if these massive devices are going to connect with the internet, definitely this will create a very massive data. So this massive data is not useless. We can use this data for number of purposes. But first thing is that what is big data? Big data means that this data is big as the word, so that this is massive in volume. In 2001, the three V's were introduced to define the big data. The first one is the volume, which refers that this data is big in volume. But the volume is not exactly going to define the big data. But for the new persons who is new to the computing field, they actually interpret the big data only for the volume, that the volume of the data is big. But as a computer scientist, as a computer engineer, as a computer student, we know that this is not a sufficient parameter. So the second parameter is velocity. Velocity here means that the data is generated with any velocity, with any speed. So this data is not static, it is continuously generated. As we can see in the social media platform, that hundreds and thousands of videos or photos are the posts are updated every day on their mainstreams networks. And similarly, if we talk about the predictive system, the weather prediction system, that there are thousands of the sensors which read the environment. There are cameras which read the environment. There are geosatellite system which read, interpret the environment. They generate a massive data, and then this massive data is executed. So the one thing, all these example in all these examples we can see that the data is big in volume. And the second thing is that this data is continuously generating. So what is the third V? Third V is actually a variety. Variety means that this data is not in a single structure. As we can see that this is not only in the text format or in the video format or in the text format. This is unstructured data. Unstructured data means that we are not going to we are not able to store this data in a relational, in a tabular or any SQL format. Definitely we will need some unstructured storage structures, as we know about the NoSQL database. I'm not going to explore in detail that what is big data, what type of technologies are used to execute or to process or compute this big data. But if you are interested in the big data, that what is the big data, what are the big data applications, what are the big data technologies, then you can visit a detailed video of mine on this channel about the big data. So what are the big data technologies? Big data technologies means that the technologies which are used to process the big data in a single or in the traditional data. Sometimes we can see that if we start running any heavy data driven applications on our mobile phones, on our laptop, for example the video editing application, then we can see that our system, our mobile phone gets stuck, it hang. It is actually due to the capacity of the data and the processing power of our computing. So if a single system is not able to process a single person data, then how the system on the network, the server on the network would be able to process a data of millions and billions of people? Definitely, we will need some sort of technologies, big data technologies to deal or handle this big data. So we can see, you also can see on the screen that high performance computing means that we are processing this big data in the form of parallel or distributed computing. There is a Hadoop, there is a Apache Spark, which are actually used to process this big data in the distributed or in the parallel manner. Apache Kafka is there, which is used for the live streaming, and definitely NoSQL databases are there. The Apache Cassandra, which is popularly used, the MongoDB database is there, which is actually which is also popularly used for big data applications. So where big data is actually used in our real life as the computing, as the artificial intelligence. Big data is also everywhere because AI actually depends on the big data, as we can see then in the autonomous vehicles. In the autonomous vehicles, actually these algorithms or these models and these vehicles are trained by any type of big data which are taken from any other vehicles which was driven by automatically by any human beings. So the it is used in educational big data for personalized learning. It is used in healthcare for personalized health system. As we talked earlier, that instead of visiting the doctor, we can just consult to these doctors by the online system. They also depends on the big data for the diagnostic system. They use the data of thousands and millions and billions of people, the data related to the diseases. So this data is used for the diagnostic system. In the marketing and for the advertisement, we see this practice, this activity every day when we visit any browser, when we visit any website, or when we visit the YouTubes or any other social media. Then we can see then the personalized advertisements are suggested. These advertisements are actually suggested on our footprint, which we have searched, which we have tapped in the screens on the any type of explorer. So this depends on the big data. Smart cities produce a big data, and definitely this data is used to improve the working of smart cities. We can see the big data in industry, in transport and logistics, in the cyber security, and definitely in the climate and the earth, where hundreds and thousands of cameras are there, or satellites are there, which monitor the earth every seconds, or the sensors which are installed around the world to sense the data, to read the environment. So all these things uses big data or create big data, and this is definitely used to change our future. The next technology is quantum computing. So what is quantum computing? When we talk about the traditional computing, then the traditional computing means that it depends on the bits. Bits mean that this may be in the form of 0 or this may be in the form of 1. Quantum computing means that instead of only depending on zeros and one, there may be some other options too. So it actually used the qubit. Qubit means that there may be in a position of zeros and one, but according to that, there may be in superpositions too. In the digital computing, there is the bit maybe 0 or maybe 1, there is no other choice. But the qubit or the mechanics can give you any superpositions too. There may be zeros or one or any superpositions for, so for that an electron or proton will be used for that. This idea is in infancy now. The scientists are working on that, the engineers are working on that, but this will dramatically change the world. This will dramatically change the computing power nowadays, which the issues we are facing by using our mobile phones or the computing system, the issues related to the computing we usually actually face every day. So all these issues will be taken by the quantum computing. Communication system, all the technologies which we discussed or all the technologies which we are going to discuss, all these technologies depend on the communication system. Communication system means the network which make these devices or these technologies able to communicate or share the informations. Nowadays we are using the 4G, we are using the 5G, which definitely have a very high speed. We also sometimes use the satellite communication. Starlink is becoming very important nowadays, where the satellite connections or the satellite internet is provided to the people. So with the introduction of the 6G, this will definitely change our world, because at that time most of the applications don't trust the network. If you talk about the vehicular big data or the vehicles or the autonomous vehicles, we can see or we understand that these vehicles don't depend on the network, because the network is congested. There is a delays, there is a issues in the response time. And similarly, in the healthcare, if we talk about the remote surgeries, then definitely the network is not trusted due to its high delay, due to its high congestions, or number of issues which are related to the network. So, with the introduction of the 6G or any other technology which will increase the speed of the internet, then definitely these technologies, either they are autonomous vehicles or they are the any healthcare system, the any robot, the surgical robotics, or so they will definitely rely trust on the network, and all these applications will be used in the life. And definitely artificial intelligence will further enhance its working. Nowadays, for example, when we use the internet in the evening particularly, we can say that the network is congested and we get a very minimum share in the network. We that in the peak hours, we see that we are not able to talk to our friends or talk to our family. Why is it like that? Because every person in the evening, they are engaged on the network. They use to see their prime time shows, or they browse any type of streaming networks. So if the artificial intelligence is used in the communication system, then the artificial intelligence will decide that which data is important, which data is not important, and artificial intelligence will work to prioritize the data. So if this happen, the 6G and the artificial intelligence, definitely the network would be trusted. This will be used by the real-time application, the autonomous vehicles system, and the healthcare system. The next technology is immersive technology. Immersive technology means that where the virtual environment, the virtual scenario is created, where we can interact to these virtual environment through our sensory system, etc. You have been listening to you have been listening about the virtual reality, the augmented reality, and the max reality, where a virtual view, a virtual system is created. So this is also popularly used in our entertainment. It is also used in education, particularly in training, where we train the staff for any particular scenarios. For example, we can train the staff for disaster management. We can train them for the different type of emergencies, for example, the disaster, the tsunami, the floods, etc. So similar to situations are created in the virtual environment, and this virtual environment is used to train the employees or the staff. And definitely, instead of directly going to operate any costly machine, for example, directly going to fly the airplane, these pilots or these operators are trained by any type of immersive technologies. This is also used in the prototyping too. For example, if you have created one design, then you can use the immersive technologies to see this designs in virtual environment. Or if you are going to set the things in your home, then before going to set or decorate your home, you can use the virtual environment or the immersive technologies to see that how all these things will look. The immersive technology future is also bright because nowadays, particularly after the COVID-19, we can see that the remote environment for working is created. We use different type of streaming applications or different type of video calling applications to remotely work and to communicate our offices, etc. But with the immersive technologies, and in the futures of the immersive technologies, the workspace will be created where they will virtually work in these workspaces. So this will make the collaboration easy. And definitely, if we go toward the remote surgery, there the immersive technologies will be used to remotely operate any patients. The next technology is blockchain. As these technologies, the computing technologies depend on the communication system. In the same way, blockchain is very important because all the technologies depend on these on the blockchain. In the current time, currently, as we can see, that usually the network is not trusted, or the data centers or the clouds are not trusted, because there is no particular security or safety system. So this is the blockchain which is going to provide to secure the network, it is going to secure the data center, it is secure to the cloud. It is just like a database, but in the traditional database, which are centralized, and it is hidden from other blocks, other nodes, or the peoples, and the transactions are made and transactions are recorded in these databases. But in the blockchain, it is just like a ledger, it is just like a database which is decentralized. So if there is any transaction, then everybody will be able to see this transaction. This transaction is not reversible. So if any transaction is made, there is no chances to reverse these transactions, which add more transparency to the system. So definitely, if we say that this is a global village, this is the digital world, then there must be any unique type of digital currencies too. Blockchain is actually a backbone of the digital currencies. The cryptocurrency, which we talk every day about the cryptocurrencies, the technology behind that is the crypto blockchain. So blockchain is definitely changing our world. It is introducing our digital world with the cryptocurrencies. It's secure our data. It's secure our network. It's secure our network devices, because they use the blockchain principles to secure every data or the devices which is connected to the internet. Blockchain is also changing our world, as we discussed that it is introducing the digital currencies, and this will further make this world the global village or the digital world. And definitely in the same situation we can see that the people or organizations don't depend or trust on the network due to its security or due to its safety, etc. This is the blockchain technology which will make the network transparent, which will make the network more secure, and it will make the network most private. So if we are going to see all other technologies progressing or changing the world or reshaping the world, definitely there may be some space, some place where the blockchain is supporting these technologies. 3D printing, as the words show, 3D printing, it means that it is printing some things in the form of 3D. In the traditional printing, you can see that we create some type of sheets on the computers, then just give its prints, and the printer prints it hard copy. It write the same things on the page. Definitely, in the same principle, the 3D printing will work. The engineers will design anything in the 3D format, and they will give a print to the 3D printer, and 3D printer will print the same things using the plastic or any other type of materials. So we can see nowadays that the 3D printing is used for particularly prototyping, to design the prototype of anything. We can see that it is used in the healthcare system, where the healthcare devices are made, where the human bodies, some human bodies are made, and for that the 3D printers are used. And similarly, some personalized printing, some personalized design, the 3D printing is used. And definitely in the future this will be used to advance the buildings, and instead of wasting months and years to construct the building, the 3D printers will be used to construct these buildings. This will be used in the future for personalized printing, instead of going to visit the companies or any other shops to purchase anything or to purchase something special. Sorry, the 3D printers will be used to print such types of objects. It will definitely be used for prototyping and in the health care. The next technology is the brain computing interface. So at that time, we can see when we talk to our computers or our mobile phones, we use our hands, we use our gestures, or we use our voice to talk to the voice assistants. So instead of talking to the computers or the mobile phones, or without using its GUI, the brain computing interface will be used to automatically communicate the digital world to the digital devices. So this is also going to change the world, particularly in the immersive technologies, where there is no physical object there. So there the brain computing interface will play its role, and this will change the world or reshape the world. Robotic, I have included here the robotic. Robotic is not any technology, it is not any emerging technologies, but it is using all the other technologies, all the other computing technologies, and definitely it is changing the world. It is a field of engineering which uses the mechanical Internet of Things, which uses the AI algorithms to create some type of special robots. And the robots are used in industry, which we can see that instead of using the human beings to create the industrial things, the robotics arms or the robots are used to create or rebuild or assemble these things. It is also used in the healthcare. It is used in the remote surgery, which is in infancy now. then definitely this will progress, this will go further if the network speed increases, if the network trustability increases. The robotics are used in the rescue operations. It is used in the search operations where the peoples are not able to reach, or there are very narrow spaces where there is no possibility to reach the human beings. So in such a situation, the robots are used to conduct such like rescue operations or the search operations. Drones, which are usually also which is usually also known as the unmanned aerial vehicles, which is capable to fly without any type of direct control, and it can be controlled remotely or by any artificial type of intelligence. So drone is also changing the world. It is used in our security, it is used in a search operation, it is used in aerial coverage. It is also used in any it is used in the military operations, as we see it every day in the military operations, and definitely in the agriculture where there is a very lengthy or widened fields. Then these drones are used for the number of purposes. So these were some technologies which we discussed in very detail, that what are these computing technologies and how they are going to change our world. So once revise that what are actually these technologies and how they are going to change our world or reshape our world. So we discussed in detail that what is artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is actually machine algorithms which behave just like a human being. These algorithms will learn from their environment, and they will use the same knowledge, the same learning in any other environment for different type of decisions making. Internet of Things, which means that the devices, the sensors, are the actuators which are connected to the internet. We also discussed that it worked in a three layer. The first layer is the sensors layer, which sense the network, which sense the environment, and in the second layer, some decisions are made according to these inputs, and in the last layer, some outputs, some actions, or some types of actuators are executed. Big data, if the volume of the devices increases, definitely the data will be increases, and if the data increases, definitely we will use some sophisticated or some modern type of technologies to execute this data. Quantum computing, the traditional computing works on bits, which is in the form of zeros and one, but the quantum computing will work on the qubit, which will have more option instead of zeros and one. They will have any superpositions. For that, they can use the electron or photons, etc. Communication system, it is a backbone for all the communication devices, or it is backbone for all the emerging technologies, because without the communication system, all the technologies, the emerging technologies, will not be able to exist, or they will not be able to communicate their data. In the communication technologies, 6G is particularly very important. The 5G also, which is currently offered in many countries and the many cities, and the Starlink, which is providing the internet through the satellite system. So with the Starlink, we will be able to have the internet everywhere in the remote areas where there is no possibility to install any type of cellular systems or the base station, etc. Immersive technologies actually create a virtual environment using the virtual reality, using the augmented reality, or using the mixed reality. Blockchain make our network more secure. It is a backbone for the cryptocurrency. It is the backbone for the digital currency. So if the digital world grows, or the global the word global village is used. Global village means that the today world is just like a village where we can directly communicate to each other. Definitely we will need some type of technologies to make this network, to make this world, to make this data secure. And definitely we will have some types of the digital currencies which will be used around the world. Definitely we will use some type of cyber rules too. So blockchains work in this manner to increase this trust on the network, to increase this trust on the data center. 3D printer means that as the traditional printers print the soft copy of any writing or any figure, 3D printer will print anything in the form of any object in a 3D format. This may be used any type of fluid or material to print this thing. Brain computing interface means when instead of communicating with the computer, or using the any GUI and for GUI system, or their assistant, for example the Google assistants, when the people or person directly communicate to these devices by its brain. So the devices which actually read a human minds to execute the systems. Robotic and drones, we discussed in detail. Robotics and drone, this is not any emerging technologies, but it depends on the existing technologies. It uses the existing technologies, just like Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, big data, communication system, to do number of operations, a number of useful rescue or safety operation, etc. So all that was related to emerging technologies. Thank you so much for watching.